Marina is our lead of the technical assistance of the Clean Energy for EU Island, and she's been working now with 2 times 20 islands, setting up the technical assistance with the whole team and so forth. So you can ask her about anything, really, anything technical on the islands, and she will, if not have the answer, at least have a way of finding the answer. So please, Marina, you have the floor, and you can moderate the first panel. So have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you. When it comes to technical assistance to islands, the Secretariat has been providing support and capacity building since its inception in 2018. During the pilot years that ran between 2018 and 2020, the support from the Secretariat was focused on the development of clean energy transition agendas. For those who are not familiar with what a CETA in short is, it's a strategic roadmap that helps islands communities to start the decarbonization on the island. So a CETA has a first part that it's focused on identifying the main stakeholders on the island, and an energy baseline scenario to identify what are the sectors that contribute the most to CO2 emissions that we need to target in order to decarbonize the island and reach net zero. Then the second part of the CETA is about getting all the stakeholders together to agree on a vision and on the pathways that can lead the island to this vision, as well as the transition governance, so who's going to take the lead in the transition process. Now, we have here with us today 4 islands that will come in a minute to the stage here with me. These 4 islands have been involved with the Secretariat already since 2018, developing their CETAs. The islands are La Palma, one that we've heard in the news very recently, unfortunately. We have Pantelleria, we have Cres-Lošinj, and Kasos as well. And what I find remarkable about these islands is that they didn't only did a great job developing their CETAs, but they have continued working and building on all that work done on the CETAs. So actually, during the second phase of the Secretariat that started in 2021, will run until 2023, we have continued the support to these islands. Now, the support, the capacity building from the Secretariat has now shifted, and we not only support the development of CETAs, we also help on the development and implementation of more specific projects on the island. So in order to be able to continue the help that we give to islands, we have already done this strategic exercise. So what I think it's exemplary from the islands is the fact that they have continued with this work building on the CETA. And we will hear shortly about all these projects. So please, can you join me on stage? Nuria, Ugo, Claudio, and Yiannis. Thank you. Okay, so we have here with us Nuria Albet Torres. Nuria has a background in physics, but she visited the island of La Palma many years ago. She fell in love with the island and decided to move there. And she is now working for La Palma Renovable. This is an organization that is built on a citizens' movement for the energy transition on the island. We will shortly hear more about this. Claudio Moscoloni is here representing Pantelleria Island. Claudio is a research fellow from Politecnico di Torino. Politecnico has been one of the beneficiaries of the main stakeholders involved in the transition of the island of Pantelleria. They were deeply involved in the development of the CETA and have now continued working on different projects. Right now from the Secretariat on the development of solar and wind farms in brownfields. We have also Yiannis Fragkoulis from Kasos Island here. He's a retired Navy officer, involved now as well in the technical assistance that we have been providing to the islands, to the island of Kasos, that was focused on the transition to e-mobility. And he will let us know more about the CETA and about the process on the island. And finally, here to my left is Ugo. He's the director of the Island Development Agency, Cres-Lošinj, since 2011. In 2019, he was the one leading the development of the CETA of the archipelago. So Ugo and I have been in touch for the last 3 years, talking really often. We are now good friends, I would say. And today he's part of the team that represents the CETA, and he's also the president of the newly established energy cooperative. So I will give the floor now to these representatives so that we can hear really the stories from them on the clean energy transition on the islands and how the Secretariat has helped on them, what can we learn from them. And then we will open the floor to questions. We would really like to enforce the interaction. There's really a lot that we can learn from these islands. So we will start with Stress, Ugo.
Here with you today. As you already heard, I'm the manager of the small island development agency. And I have to underline that we started our energy transition in 2019 when we met the initiative Clean Energy for EU Islands. Prior to that, we haven't had any experience in this energy transition. So this was a sort of trigger to involve the community and to start to develop the CETA. In this case, the technical assistance was crucial for us because they gave us the direction how to proceed. But the technical assistance cannot do the job for you. So we in Croatia say, help yourself and God will help you. So we started to work hard and we finished the CETA, and thanks to the involvement also of the local municipalities of Cres and Cres-Lošinj, we managed to employ in our agency the energy transition manager. So we started immediately to implement the CETA, and we are working on different stuff. As Marina said, we got technical assistance for specific things. One was regarding the biogas potential of organic waste on the island, and the result of this analysis was not very promising. And the second technical assistance we got was regarding the solar car parks. We saw that it was a pre-feasibility study, and we saw that this is a potential for installing PVs also on parking lots, because we are limited with space for non-integrated solar power plants. In the meantime, we also established the energy cooperative. And many of these investments that we plan, especially also in these parking lots, we will try to do it in a sort of public-private partnership. So the parking lots are owned by the community, by the municipalities, but the investors then will be the members of the cooperative. So the cooperative is mainly a crowdfunding platform for investment in different transition projects, while we are parallel working in establishing also an energy community as soon as it will be possible.
Pantelleria has developed its clean energy transition agenda from 2019 to 2020, and then in this project we have the possibility to involve the local community, local stakeholders, as DSO and local association, with the aim now to create a shared vision of the decarbonization processes of the island. And then within the 2021 we participated as technical partner of the municipality of Pantelleria in the first call for technical assistance with a retreat project that, as Marina said, have a double aim. On one side, to install 2 power plants in Brownsfield, a capacity of 750 kilowatt of photovoltaic plants and a small wind farm. And on the other side, to save in soil, because we know that in the island, we have to rise the rest penetration, but we have the problem of the saving soil. And then Pantelleria, at last 4 weeks ago, participated in a public tender within the Italian recovery plan. That this tender is very covers many aspects. From one side, the rest penetration in the local energy mix through different initiatives as roof PV plants, establishing renewable energy community, etc. And on one side, to, for example, restore the water pipelines, just to give you a sketch. Okay.
Thank you, Claudio.
Good morning. First of all, thank you for having us here and the opportunity to talk about our project. A little bit of background of what La Palma Renovable is. As Marina mentioned, we are a social movement, but we are kind of a pragmatic one. And when we were kind of angry that nothing was being done in the island, that the politicians were not doing anything, we were like, okay, so we cannot just complain, we have to understand the problem, we have to understand all stakeholders, what's happening, and then we started really working with Cabildo, which is the Insular Council of the island, and it was, we were very happy because they were very open, and we actually started working with them and getting money for creating a team of technicians for the project, and then it was when La Palma Renovable was born, and we feel also that it was at the same time that the project Clean Energy for EU Islands was getting, well, it was already born, but it was just when we were born, I remember in Lanzarote, and we were like, for us, like Europe and Brussels were very far, and then suddenly, wow, these people actually helping and we felt from the beginning part of this project, we were very lucky and thankful of being a pilot island. And since then we have been working in many, many different things. One of the first things that we did was getting signatures for more than 100 organizations on the island to really commit to the energy transition. We have been helping them calculate their carbon footprint, and now helping them decarbonize also. But looking a bit on the whole picture, what is needed, why things are not happening, and what can we do to do that in this very trying to empathize and understand the other part. That means that we are working with, we have, for example, a green office, which is helping people reduce their bills. So this is for like households and like people that don't have a business. But also we're calculating the carbon footprint of the whole islands. And then when you see the numbers, you get very scared and you understand that's a lot of work to do. And it's not enough to just help people and companies reduce their carbon footprint, but we need new economic models. We need a whole new other way of doing everything that we are doing. On islands, we are very dependent on La Palma, on tourism and banana exportation. This is very, very highly dependent on petrol. Also electricity, it's 90%. Petrol-based, so we are in a really bad spot. But in this way, we're also helping and being part of pushing new economic models. We have been helping create an energy cooperative also, and it's a very exciting process. It was, this afternoon we will talk about it, but it was in the middle of the volcano that we were signing the papers. It was a very intensive time, but very nice also seeing that finally things are starting to, all this work to be like materializing, and we see results finally. And in this way of looking at all the problems that are being a block or something that it's not moving forward, we saw also that the planning for the grid on the island was what we understood without the technical knowledge, that it was a little bit strange because the high tension line, that it's transportation line, it's being planned, it goes a new one for security reasons from the thermal plant to the other side of the island that has very high consumption. And this for us, it felt like this is very old model. Why do we put so much money into this when we could put this money into a smart, decentralized, or like a grid that could be much more prepared for the future grid that we need. And then we asked for technical assistance, and it has been very helpful. And now we understand much better how it's the better way to go. So we're very helpful for that also. I'm thankful for that.
First of all, I want to thank you for the invitation to be here today for the forum. Actually, it's our birthday day, 3 years with all this beautiful committee. I want to thank you personally, Marina, Lucita, and the other members of you that all these years have helped us a lot. We have been taught how to work systematically, the municipality of our island, also with the social cooperative enterprise, which I represent also here today. And this was the main factor of our success, I believe. You teach us how to work and how to have the final good result of our CETA plan, and also for the study that you already have prepared for us for mobility. I believe that more or less the problems of the small islands are similar. But the main problem that we have many years now is how we can reach our goals. And in this critical point, you have helped us a lot. And I wish also in the future we will have a very good cooperation. And in particular for my island of Kasos, I want to say that one of our thoughts for the future is to transmit, to make a construction about the traditional windmills in order to produce energy, but always with respect to the environment and to our cultural tradition. It's very important to be able to combine the traditional with the future and what you have to do. I believe also in all small islands of the Europe, they have the same thought about that. And I am sure that with your help, we can share our ideas to be more successful in the future. Thank you once again, all of you, for your help.
Thank you. Yeah, the pleasure is really always ours whenever with our modest technical assistance, all what we can do and we can help islands move in the clean energy transition, then we are very happy. So after hearing these inspiring examples, I would like to give the floor to the audience, and I wonder if there are any questions that have come up after hearing these stories.
Hello, Christina from KRA. I was interested in a comment in that last presentation, always with respect for the environment, and I'd just be interested from all four participants to see how far biodiversity and the consideration of biodiversity has played a part in your plans?
Yeah, it's all for review, so yeah.
Okay. Well, okay, sorry. In my opinion, no. We know that each human activity has an impact. As said, my colleagues, sorry, we have to find the balance, and then we have to analyze the situation in which we are, and then we can find the best match. I think that a conversion of the wine mills to produce energy is maybe, in my opinion, the perfect example. No, if you are the possibility to respect the environment and then to produce energy, merging the energy needs with the tradition and the local environment.
Yeah, for us it's also very central, and we also understand this balance. Everything we do has an impact, so that's the reason why we always say that the greenest electron is the one that is not consumed. So saving energy is always for us like the highest priority. But of course we have to generate electricity, new projects of renewable. In the energy community now, we have decided that all solar panels will be on roofs. We will not touch ground. But of course, at some point, we will have to decide if we want to do sea projects or wind projects and where. And we believe it's very important to have discussions. So governance in everything we do is very important, and talking and go around. Of course, this is a challenge because we don't have so much time, but we believe we have to do it. So now we are building all these spaces where we can discuss with responsibility and knowledge.
Yeah, our intervention in biodiversity is very limited. So on our archipelago, we are not allowed to build windmills, and we have only 5 spots for non-integrated solar plants. Before building the solar plants, we have to do the analysis of the impact on the Natura 2000 sites, because practically the whole archipelago is part of the network Natura 2000. So this is the only intervention that could eventually harm the environment, the biodiversity.
You want also?
You already.
Okay. About the windmills, I want to say that in our islands of Kasos and also in other islands of the Aegean archipelago, there are old abandoned windmills that need to be repaired with respect to the initial architecture, and also to be, let's say, useful for the future of the islands. These two factors should be combined in order to have a good result. Okay.
Can I
Yeah, please.
Can I add something? Just.
I think now.
It's work? Okay, no work. Okay, I just want to add that in our retreat project, we aim to restore and use abandoned field and brownfield, because in this way, you can restore an industrial area and at the same time produce energy. Also, I think that if you want to plan the energy future of an island, maybe I think that a key point is spatial planning. We have to analyze the Natura 2000, we analyze the local community, and then we have to choose the best place and the best way to exploit the rest plants.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Hi, Finbar here. You mentioned efficiency as being more important than generation, and I would agree. Could you just talk about some of the efficiency measures that you did to first reduce consumption before you considered generation? Thanks.
Well, it's more like we don't have so much time, so we're doing many things, so we would like to do much more than what we're doing. But with households, as I mentioned before, we have this office that we learn people to use less energy. Sometimes it's quite easy in Canary Islands because we don't have almost heating or AC. So sometimes just people get very surprised just putting time, how it's called, this time meter in the water heater. You can save 1/3 of the whole energy consumption in a household. And households for us is half of the all energy consumption. So sometimes very small actions can create a great impact. We also we know that 10% of the electricity of the island is going to pump water, and we are not using the water going down because it's a very hilly mountain island. So we want to work with that also because we believe it's a high impact. But also in the energy cooperative, one of the projects we want to work is all the issue with saving, flexibility, putting all these small, like open source, like smart house, but very much like open for people, not high tech, but as low as possible. So a little bit of automatization in the houses for like water heaters. So that's a plan for the future we want to do.
I would just like to add something that I forgot, and maybe it could be inspiring for the others. Some other islands, Croatian islands, were part of the first round that had to produce CETA. And thanks to the island movement, we are now working together. We became like a family. So we are supporting each other among the Croatian islands. And I think that it's very important to exchange information and to collaborate because we have the same government, we have the same legal problems, and working together is something that helps.
Yeah.
Just a final comment.
Yeah, certainly. Certainly, and yeah, I would like to use this chance. Indeed, the Secretariat works very closely with our regional partners, Island Movement in Croatia. They help creating these networks, and they are part of the success of the Secretariat. So big thank you from here to our regional partners and the great work they do.
Thank you. Good morning. I wanted to ask, we have very high prices on electricity the last 9 months. I have seen the examples of the 4 islands, and I think that all the people have done a great job there. Have they tried to turn the energy crisis and the prices of the electricity to an opportunity in order to mitigate the local stakeholders? Because we know that the local population didn't want to hear about energy efficiency and energy saving because they didn't care about the price of electricity since it was too low. Now that it is very high, I believe that it is an occasion, a golden chance for all of us to make them understand what they can do, and that clean energy can be also not only good for the environment, but also very cheap. Have you used it as a tool? Thank you.
Yeah, for us it's kind of funny because now the prices quite often are about 200 euros a megawatt hour, and this is actually the price at how much it costs to generate electricity on our island, and we don't pay that because it's subsidized. So when people say, oh, this is very expensive, we already answer, well, actually this is the real cost that we should pay if we were not subsidized. Well, probably even more if we consider the cost of climate change and our externalizations, but yeah, the real cost is this price. And we really have seen a huge change of people interested suddenly in saving energy and putting solar panels. The calculations that we are doing for the energy community, we're planning to do 100 kilowatt solar photovoltaic installations that can be shared in Spain. 500 meters around it can be shared by all consumers as if they had it in their own roofs. And the numbers are crazy. You can get back the investment in less than 3 years. So it's almost, you don't have any reason not to be part of it. So yeah, it has been actually a help.
Yes. No. Okay. I'm totally agree because, in my opinion, this energy crisis is a very turning point to push the renewable energy transition of the island, in particular, and in general for the national system and international system. In my opinion, the overcost on the bills it's a rude motivation to increase the social acceptance of the risk penetration, because now if you explain that if you install a lot of kilowatts, some of kilowatts of photovoltaic plants in your rooftop, you can have a money saving also and energy saving.
Besides the energy prices, the prices of all other things are rising now, and unless you just do a behavioral change, you need to make some investments for the energy transition. And in this time now, it helps us to raise the awareness of the importance of the energy, but on the other hand, we are losing people that don't have spare money, so save money in the bank, because with these prices rising for material and services, they are not willing to invest. There are some uncertainty for the future. So now we are just getting on board people that have money. So this is also a problem.
Okay, I want to say also that, as mentioned before, we live a crisis. We want to transform the crisis to an opportunity. So we just need a very huge European, let's say, propaganda, advertisement, whatever, of the benefits of this transition that we try to install. So, in my point of view, as we saw yesterday in the island of Halki, this was a good example. That means that the inhabitants should feel the difference of the cost in their pocket very soon. And this is the only reason that the inhabitants in all islands will support our effort. Because I'm very disappointed to say that people are very suspicious. They don't usually understand what means to go further, okay, in the energy transition. So they want to have results in their pockets. This is the main goal, and we have to see how easily we can succeed in this. Okay.
If I can add something, because Ugo, you had a really good point there about energy poverty, because it's a huge problem we will have now. We actually started a study about energy poverty on our island, and in the energy community we have put the basis that we want to create tools so people that cannot pay and invest, they actually can be part of the energy community and also receive the benefits of having, being able to use these PV installations that we are putting. It's very important.
Great, thank you. We're reaching to the end, so I would like to close here. I have some, there are some key messages from this session that I would like to highlight. So the importance of community engagement, early community engagement, empowering people by giving them information and making them understand the advantages of the energy transition for them, not only on monetary terms, but also on the biodiversity, on what are the advantages there to the island. Then we can use the current crisis as an opportunity as well, and continue on the work with the community. And really, what we see on these islands is that you have here like 4 representatives of the 4 organizations that have been the catalyzers of the energy transition on the island. So it has been key to have leaders, transition leaders that started with this movement and continue leading the islands towards interesting projects. So this we see is one common agent that follows in all these islands that continue applying to our technical assistance and have projects that are ongoing and new ones are rising. So I would like to ask for a big round of applause for our speakers.